How are we doing, YouTube? It's your friendly gamer, SmartEntity here. Welcome to my Specialized Builds episode 6, this time featuring Nova 2.0, or specifically Molecular Prime 2.0. So, Molecular Prime got nerfed as of update 13.4. I'll basically just quickly explain the changes, and I'll do that by jumping into the website here. So, on cast, Molecular Prime no longer instantly affect all enemies. Basically now the power travels and there's a traveling time, and this is affected by duration mods. So this is actually not a big deal if you have the duration mods on. It is a big deal if you are not using duration mods, especially if you're using fleeting expertise. This is a massive deal. Now, explosion radius, that's not that big a deal because at high level gameplay, it's not gonna affect you that much anyway. At low level play, it may have a bit of influence. Now, duration now actually affect how long the power is active for. So before you cast Molecular Prime, end of story, right? Now you cast Molecular Prime, if you don't kill the enemy fast enough, Molecular Prime actually do wear off. Now, with a max Molecular Prime, max continuity, max constitution, that power actually lasts for about a minute, which is more than enough time for any purpose or situation. Another minor change is that the slow motion now is affected by your Intensify or Strength mods. This is a slight change because before you want to have your Intensify in there for low level gameplay and you want to remove that for high level gameplay. Now you basically want that in there all the time. So we'll jump into the build and I'll quickly explain the build. So what's the same? Well, redirection, vitality, the sort of mods that keep you alive are the same. Anti-meta drop, Molecular Prime, these two are the same, of course. Flow is the same, the energy bank. Now for low level gameplay, before you want Intensify and now you want that in there all the time. Stretch is the same for the extra range. And what's different now is you want these two mods in there. You want your Constitution and Continuity. Basically what these mods will allow you to do is it'll allow Molecular Prime to stay on enemies longer. Not a big deal for low level gameplay. Very extremely good big deal. For your sort of 2-hour T3 survival. So when you're facing those 200 above heavy gunners, it's gonna take a while to kill them. Another massive change is with this new build that requires duration, you want to remove fleeting expertise and put in streamline. As far as sort of your very high level gameplay goes, there is usually not that big a deal because say for your T3 survival you usually have a necros, you will kill a lot of enemies, so having that slightly decreased power efficiency isn't that big a deal. And for low level gameplay, yes, it's a big deal, but you don't have to use Nova for your low level gameplay. And by low level I mean basically any solar map, any survival defense that's below 15 minute, below 15 wave, and basically any sort of tower 1, tower 2 would be considered low level. So with this build, as far as the nerf goes, it'll actually affect you very minimally. But obviously, you do sacrifice compared to my old Nova 1.0 build in my Specialized episode 2, I believe. You do sacrifice that wormhole. And you do sacrifice that rush, which I personally like to use. A lot of sort of movement utilities help you really rush through the solar map nodes. But having said that, with this new build, there's very little difference. Okay, so just doing a quick tower defense map to show a bit of gameplay here. So as you can see, there is definitely a slight traveling time with this new power here. Because I have burst duration mods on, this traveling time is actually not that obvious, and a lot of enemies are still affected. But if you don't have those two max duration mods on, and especially if you have a fleeting expertise, this power will actually, as far as traveling goes, will run out very fast. And with those max duration mods on, and with that, without that fleeting expertise, I kind of feel because the traveling, the time that this power is active for traveling actually makes this power's range quite long. Okay, so now I have a max fleeting expertise, no duration mods, and a max molecular prime. So I've managed to collect quite a cluster of enemies here, and let's see how well this power works now. So with this power now, as you can see, the close by enemies are still affected, but these enemies here that were at the door are not affected, because without that duration mod, the power traveling just runs out so fast. I guarantee you, with the old molecular prime and with my duration build, these enemies definitely would have been primed. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Basically, the main takeaway point from this is definitely mod your new Nova with a duration build, and if you do that, the difference is actually not that noticeable. And if you use the old build without duration mods, especially if you have fleet expertise, you will see also the effect of a nerfed M prime, and it's definitely not something I would recommend. Alright guys, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.